Central Florida Eye Institute is the area's leader in laser vision correction. From high-definition refraction surgery and LASIK vision correction to custom cataract, glaucoma, and diabetic treatment, you can count on Dr. Crowley and his effective, friendly staff to provide you with the quality care you deserve. Call 352-237-8400 for an appointment or more information. That number again is 352-237-8400. Looking forward to service your vision needs.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
Hi, I'm Seth with AA Lock, Dock, and Security. Have you ever thought about the locks or security on your house or business? Have you ever wondered why the keys to your new car cost so much? Well, at AA Lock, Dock, and Security, we can help with securing your valuables. We can even replace those expensive transponder keys. We can give you the knowledge that no one else will. Call AA Lock, Dock, and Security at 867-1965. That's 867-1965.
Your weekends are getting a little retool.
Swear to God, not making a joke.
Check this out. New shows? Check. Some new talent? Check. Let's welcome the guys.
Let's get it going.
Arnie Spanier.
Unbelievable.
TJ Reeves.
This is what you get.
Your weekends are on fire.
Because that's how exotic it is.
Get it for less at the DIY Home Center outlet. Get top quality real wood cabinets the same or less than the big box stores are selling the cheap stuff. And that's not all. Drywall screws big box stores are $6.47 a pound. At DIY, only $4.99. Plus, DIY has the largest selection of mobile home parts and accessories anywhere. From carpet to doors, get the DIY supplies you need for less. The DIY Home Center outlet. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
We are The Source, WOCA, news, talk, sports, and more.
All right, 20 minutes after 9 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Gosh, a very fast-moving Monday morning, huh, Robin?
Huge,
just a lot of stuff happening.
Quick.
There was this is an expression, if you could be a fly on the wall, right? What you might have seen or what you might have heard. There was even do you remember when the Beatles had some kind of a one of those records that they made after, long after I think John was dead and maybe even if George was dead. But they released this piece called "The Fly on the Wall," where you got to listen to what they were saying.
Yeah, that was cool.
Well, you might not always want to know what's going on. You might not want to see what the fly sees. Frankie Y. Bailey has been with us before. The last time, I believe, was the book called "The Red Queen Dies."
Yes.
And she's on the phone again with us. Her new book is called "What the Fly Saw." And it almost sounds like you're going to say an expletive. What the fly saw? What the fly saw? What the fly saw? She's on the phone right now. Talk to us about her book. Good morning, Frankie. How are you? How have you been?
Good morning, Larry. I'm fine. Actually, I'm just getting back from Florida.
Where were you?
Back in Albany. Yeah, I was in Florida for Sleuth Fest over the weekend, and so I'm just getting back yesterday.
Sleuth Fest? Where in Florida was the event?
Deerfield Beach, Florida.
Okay, all right. And where are you right now?
I'm back in Albany with the snow.
In Albany? Yeah. Oh, my goodness. So you you got new snow again today, don't you?
Yeah, a little bit last night. Not much, but just adding to what we already have.
Oh, okay. The last time you were on, I think, was The Red Queen Dies. Is that right?
Yeah, that's the first book in the series.
Okay. Oh, this is part of the same series?
Yes.
Ah, okay. So when you have a series, is there a third one in the works?
Yeah, there is. It's a theme series, so the title actually has two meanings, the meaning you just talked about, but there's also the Ballad of Cock Robin, and so my victim's killed with an arrow from his own bow, and in that ballad, it's an English ballad, the fly says, "I saw him die with my little eye."
Oh, yeah. Okay. My goodness.
So it has both meanings.
And so did you, when this idea came to you, was it after the other book or during the other book? And were you couldn't wait to get this on paper?
Well, it takes so long to write a book, and then there's a long period before the book actually comes out. And so I was actually working on the second book as I was waiting for the first book to come out, because you have to start out, it takes like a year at least, to actually, for me at least, to actually write the book, because I have to do research. And so, I was working on marketing the first while writing the second.
So I didn't mention at the opening, but Frankie is a professor at the School of Criminal Justice at the University of Albany, where it's freezing right now.
Yes.
So, but I mean, does your work in is it called criminology? Is that what you call the study of crime?
We're actually criminal justice. Criminology is in sociology. So criminal justice is, although they overlap a lot, and so there are people who are criminologists who are also, we go to the same conferences and all of that. But criminal justice is interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary field that would include criminologists and psychologists and sociologists and people like me with a PhD in criminal justice. And so,
really?
It's a wide tent kind of.
So, in the expression that truth is often weirder than fiction, I mean, do crimes, are crimes worse in the real world than any author could ever invent?
Yeah, that's a hard question. I think I study crime and mass media. That's one of my areas. I'm also a crime historian. So I think individual crimes can be graphic and awful. But one of the things we talk about in terms of mass media is that there is a distortion of crime in the media, so that homicides, murders, are overrepresented in the media. Murders do not happen every day in many places. Some places go for years in between premeditated murders. Most crimes involving violence are manslaughter, assault, that kind of thing. So the kind of premeditated murders that people like me write about in detective fiction don't happen that often.
Well, that's one of the wonderful things that you do in your stories, is that it is really a wonderful read. We are really involved as the reader as to the whodunit part, but also you make people more aware that there are bad guys out there, and we should take precautions every day to protect ourselves.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I want to do in a series, because it is the Hannah McCabe series, and it's set in the near future in Albany, New York, but it's a parallel universe, an alternate universe, in the sense that the past history of my my Albany is slightly different from the Albany that I live in, and I needed to do that because I'm writing about a real place in the near future, 2020 in this book. And so I'm dealing with some social issues, but I wanted to use this way of doing it. There are lots of things that I find interesting as a criminal justice person that I want to talk to another audience that I wouldn't reach with journal articles and academic books, and so this allows me to do it.
I want to be sure the listener has an idea of the storyline, but real quickly, can you talk to me about, when I was a kid, I had a bow and arrow. Mm-hmm. And I remember going to the bow and arrow store. I was really into this for a while.
I had to do that when I was doing research because I didn't have a bow and arrow as a kid.
But I had the simplest one you could have, even though, I mean, it could have been deadly. The one I had, I mean, I shot real arrows. I had a real arrow.
Weapon, actually. I mean, there are all kinds of laws controlling when you can hunt and where you can use your bow and arrows. So yeah.
And you mentioned the compound bow, which I wanted to ask you about. Did you get to use one? I've always wondered about them.
Mm-hmm. I did go to a bow store and talk to a very nice clerk who allowed me to practice and told me about the different bows. And then I was looking at the laws in New York State, because there are some things about crossbows that are unique. Well, not unique to New York, but in terms of ownership and use and all of that. So the compound bow turned out to be my best weapon.
Oh wow! It's an interesting weapon, isn't it? It looks cool.
Yeah.
Compound bow looks cool.
Yeah, but it works well.
Harder to use for me because I don't have that upper arm strength that I guess you develop as you go along. But that bow is actually easier to use than the bow that actually requires you to have. If you think of the Robin Hood type of bow, that's much more difficult. So the compound bow is easier in that respect.
Well, you don't hear about bows being used in mystery novels very often.
Well, it's because I thought of that because I was actually doing some research in something else, and I liked the ballot. I really wanted to use that ballot. That was the other thing. But also because in places like New York, upstate New York, people do go hunting with bows.
Yeah. So give us. How do we do this real quick? We've got 2 minutes. Give us a thumbnail sketch of the storyline, like the movie trailer version.
Yeah. So Hannah McCabe, police detective Hannah McCabe, and her partner Mike Baxter are on the trail of a killer, a funeral director who is found dead in his funeral home after a blizzard shuts down everything in Albany. The next day, his mortician goes in and finds his body. The funeral director is good husband, father, a member of a mega church, well-liked in the community, and there seems to be no reason someone would want him dead. And at the same time, Hannah McCabe is dealing with the fallout from her case, and the Red Queen dies. And in Albany, there are things going on in terms of the impact of the blizzard on the infrastructure, for example, and threatened cholera epidemic. And so a number of things are happening at the same time. And Hannah's family is involved in a national political not scandal, but it attracts a lot of media attention, and so she's dealing with that as she tries to go about solving the undertaker or mortician, or I'm sorry, funeral director case.
Wow.
So I was going through. Actually, I've been reading a lot about funeral directors.
My goodness. I have a copy of the book that was sent to us. If you call me right now, you can have it. It's called What the Fly Saw. Frankie Y. Bailey is the author. The rest of us have to go buy it. Frankie, we got 30 seconds. How do we get the book?
Yeah, you can buy it from your local independent bookstore, from any of the major chains, or go online to Amazon or Barnes & Noble, or go online to St. Martin's. And I want to direct people to my website as well, www.frankieYbailey.com.
Okay, FrankieYbailey.com. And actually, Robin has it on our website already, so check it out, and we'll make it easy. Call us if you need it repeated. Frankie, thank you so much. Stay warm up there.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on. I enjoyed it.
You're welcome.
It's being called a large-scale military operation. Iraqi forces trying to retake Tikrit, hometown of Saddam Hussein, from ISIS. Iraq's prime minister calling on Sunni fighters to abandon the militants, promising them a pardon. An investigation underway into the Los Angeles Skid Row shooting death of a black man by police, captured on video.